Thank you, dear guests from the neighboring countries, members of the network, dear excellencies, dear ambassadors, dear Deputy Minister Zhernovsky, our host today, dear network national coordinators, dear Dr. Dasic, dear partners, dear friends, I wish you all a very warm welcome here in Skopje today. I have really great honor to greet you all coming today from Albania, Bulgaria, Bosnia and Herzegovina, the State of Israel, Republic of Moldova, Montenegro, Romania, Republic of Serbia, here in Skopje. I would like to thank my colleagues from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for their generous offer of these premises. We are the host country to the SCHN Secretariat, and today it is a symbolic finalization of the one-year presidency mandate within this network. Since last year, network focused its work on the universal health coverage achievement for everyone and everywhere in the southeastern European region. One of those steps was the organization of the ministerial meeting in Israel on ensuring primary health care for aging population. The meeting highlighted the importance of primary health care to achieve our collective goals for the 21st century. The primary healthcare system is the cornerstone of our health system and providing people-centered care in order to tackle the rise of chronic disease, non-communicable disease, mental health, and multimorbidity. I am proud to mention that at the national level, we, during the last year, strive to advance primary health care as an essential pillar for sustainable and resilient health system and critical to health security and emergency preparedness. In this context, we organized the National Health Forum in partnership with WHO Country Office under the subject for Healthier Life, part towards quantitative and efficient primary health care in the Republic of North Macedonia in February this year. Our country is among the first on the globe to review its commitments towards strengthening primary health care in line with the Astana Declaration approved in October last year. One of the major challenges we face, and I know all of our region is facing, is the workforce shortage. Brain drain is increasing constantly, though unfortunately the brain gain balance is not maintained. This is the reason it is a very sensitive topic and painful at the same time for all of us. The migration of our health personnel towards the EU countries is an understandable phenomenon. However, we are here today to continue our conversation on this topic and to explore which policy options have been already tested, which are short-term effects or impacts, and to identify viable solutions for health systems in all our region. Over the past 2 years, we had gained many measures to increase the motives of young people to stay in our country. We have invested significant amount of money, which was not invested for many years until now, in increasing their payments, fees for night services. We have implemented measures with which, for the first time here in our country, the private residents were paid for their work, like they are in the Western European countries. We have implemented a measure with a change in the health law, with which every doctor which is going to be licensed have a guarantee workplace in the primary healthcare system, paid with the amount of average salary of a doctor here in our country, in order every single doctor to feel that he is a part of the system, to be educated, to work under supervision in the first period, and the primary healthcare is the level in which the medicine is basically learned. The young doctors are guaranteed their work in the emergency healthcare system, then in the immunizations departments, and also a part of patronage services. Worldwide, we have the WHO Global Code of Practice on the international recruitment of health personnel, which aims to establish and promote voluntary principles and practices for the ethical international recruitment of health personnel. Member states should discourage active recruitment of health personnel from developing countries facing critical shortage of health workers, though the reality is different, and we all know it. To address this challenge, we shall use the Code to serve as a continuous and dynamic framework for dialogue and cooperation, especially to discourage brain drain from lower-income countries with already fragile health systems. And finally, I would like to particularly underline the significance of the SEHN cooperation with WHO European Regional Office for Europe, particularly under the framework of the sub-regional cooperation strategy for the period of 2018 until 2023, signed on July 10th in Tel Aviv under the Israeli presidency. In this context, I would like to highlight that we dispose of the main instruments for aligning to boost at the SCE regional level, inter-country and cross-country health targeted actions to promote mutually supported policies aimed to achieve universal health coverage and the UN 2030 agenda. In this spirit, I'm looking forward to our today's deliberations and to joint efforts under the unique roof of SEHN. With the help and efforts of the Secretariat, I would like to thank all of you and encourage to demonstrate our shared commitment to amplify impact and speak one voice for the best interests of our population. Thank you all.